All right, and welcome everyone to another episode of Top Rope Talk. I am Denzel Snipes, and this is my co-host Tyler Sumner. 1 second while we set the mood here. Give me that background music. Here we go. All right, so Tyler, what's been going on with you, man?
Nothing much, man. I'm pretty just sure that like the rest of the wrestling world, last Saturday at Elimination Chamber, we were shocked with what happened. We didn't see it coming, no pun intended. But overall, just been good. I'm on spring break, so I'm back in my regular studio now, at my desk with my podcast setup, and just overall, we're on the road to WrestleMania, man, and it's gonna be fun. There's a lot of stuff that can happen, especially with implications of tonight's main event, which I have some theories that we'd like to discuss. But, Denzel, I did actually just get a tweet from Adam Pearce, the Raw general manager. Cody Rhodes is at Raw tonight.
Okay.
Cody Rhodes is going to be on Monday Night Raw tonight. You got to wonder if he has something to do with the main event, Punk Rollins, because, as we mentioned, there's a lot of stuff going on with this road to WrestleMania now.
Absolutely. I wonder, so Cody Rhodes is going to be there tonight, and I wonder if we get a Cena appearance.
From what I've been seeing, Cena is not booked until the 17th when they're overseas.
Okay.
That's been the date, yeah.
Okay, so, well, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and take a look at, because we all know that they like to come up with matches on the fly and everything. We're going to touch on the ones that are actually pre-scheduled, and that is, well, we've got the main event, Jey Uso going against Grayson Waller. He's had some run-ins with A-Town Down Under backstage as of late, and now him and Grayson will go one-on-one. He needs all the momentum rolling into WrestleMania 41, but will we see the Ring General appear tonight?
I absolutely think it's a foregone conclusion that we're going to see Gunther, the Ring General, appear tonight. You have to... The problem with this match is we've seen it over and over again when Gunther was IC champion, since Gunther's been World Heavyweight champion. Jey had a shot a week before the Rumble. I think we're going to see Gunther appear tonight because last week Gunther stood tall over Jey, and I think Jey's going to stand tall over Gunther tonight. That's what I think is going to happen. Obviously, it's going to be a snooze fest match. I mean, no one really cares about Grayson Waller or A-Town Down Under. But main event, Jey Uso is in there. So with that being said, Denzel, I only got one thing left. 4 letters, 1 word, yeet.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely Jey Uso has to take this one. Now, it's entirely possible because we did see an upset over Drew McIntyre a few weeks ago by way of Jimmy Uso. So it's kind of adding to that unpredictability, you know what I mean? What are the chances that the Ring General interferes and Grayson Waller gets the win?
Again, that's very likely, but I think it's going to end with a brawl. I think that Jey is going to brawl out with Gunther, and I just think that Gunther's getting involved some way, somehow. With how it will be, who knows?
Okay, then fair enough. Well, we'll go on to our next one that's pre-scheduled, and that is a tag team match between Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus the New Day. The New Day continuing their run-ins with the LWO. But I do have to ask, is Mysterio on a collision course with the New Day at WrestleMania 41, perhaps with Big E as an ally? Now, before you give your take, Big E did hint that he was that close to being cleared to return to the ring. One thing that I know about WWE is they're not going to tease these things unless it's true, which I believe either he really is that close or he's already been cleared. I think we see Big E in the ring at WrestleMania 41. What do you think?
I think that it's possible. I'm not going to say it's completely off the table because, again, dealing with that serious neck injury he had, them telling him he'd never wrestle again, and then he declined surgery. It's one of those things that's like, okay, if it happens, awesome. You love the moment. If it doesn't happen, I'm okay with it. Because I'd rather see him get healthy first instead of rushing him back.
Right.
But the other thing, too, is they've been very quiet about this. Do I think it's on a collision course with the New Day versus the LWO? Yes. Unfortunately, that's going to be the bathroom break match at Mania. Like Karrion Kross and Bobby Lashley was last year. But I'm going to say no with Big E as an ally, but yes to the collision course with the New Day at WrestleMania 41.
Okay, then. Kind of sort of like, okay, there was another wrestler in the past who retired due to a neck injury, took up a commentating job, and then made it back to the ring, and that was Daniel Bryan. Couldn't lightning strike twice, that's all I'm saying.
Maybe 3 times with Edge.
Edge, yep. Well, Edge didn't commentate, but as far as neck injuries, yes, Edge. In which I know you're not an AEW fan. He lost last night.
I heard it was overbooked.
AEW pay-per-views, they're seemingly like 5 hours long. They're like 14 matches on the card. I guess that's why they only really have 5 pay-per-views a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but well, we'll go on to our next match. Give me one moment. Our next match, and which probably will be the main event. This will probably close the show, and that is Punk Rollins, the sequel in a steel cage. But question: Should this have been at WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas? Now, I know it's Madison Square Garden tonight and everything, but this just seems like it should have been at WrestleMania, maybe.
I'm going to tell you no. Denzel, this is where I have to be your wise man, if you will. Okay. Madison Square Garden is one of the biggest venues, if not the biggest venue in all of entertainment. Okay? Not size-wise, but impact-wise, right?
Right.
There's a certain chief who's been out since the Royal Rumble. There's a certain visionary, a revolutionary. You kind of get where I'm going here.
Yep, that is true.
And there's a certain man who has a favor in his back pocket still. So what's that favor going to be, you ask? CM Punk wins by way of Roman Reigns screwing Seth Rollins tonight.
Aha!
Roman Reigns. Why do you think I wore the shirt?
That's true.
OTC.
Yes.
Roman Reigns shows up tonight in Madison Square Garden in New York City and screws Seth freaking Rollins over. Then Punk cashes in his favor. Now, what does that lead to, you ask? As we mentioned when we kicked off the show, Cody Rhodes is in the arena tonight. He is at Monday Night Raw. Tiffany and Charlotte open night 1. Jay and Gunther open night 2 of Mania. Main event of night 1, Cody and CM Punk versus The Rock and John Cena. Main event of night 2, Cena and Cody. Cena wins.
Interesting. So, a bit of a repeat, kind of like last year's WrestleMania.
Exactly, because I think the reason is just because Jay and Gunther has proven that it can't be a main event. The feud is not main event worthy. Not saying Jay's not a main eventer, but it's just
to close the show.
Main event worthy. Exactly.
Yeah, to close the show. You know what? I actually thought, and the WWE usually doesn't do this unless a title is on the line, but I think that this type of match would be just as big, if not almost as big, and that is the possibility that at WrestleMania we could get a triple threat match: OTC, the best in the world, and the Visionary.
That's possible, but I think what I'm more interested in is a Roman Seth match straight up.
Okay.
Because if you remember, the last time they faced off one-on-one was at the Royal Rumble 2022, which
Yes.
Vincent Kennedy McMahon, a.k.a. Satan himself, yes, I said it, okay, decided that we're going to have that match end off in a disqualification.
Yeah.
Why?
And because of that disqualification, and here's your history, here's the history lesson, people. Because of that disqualification, to this day, Roman Reigns has yet to have a victory over Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins
Well,
has
actually, no.
always beaten him in the ring.
In one-on-one, you're right. But in tag team action, no. Because last year, Rock and Roman beat Cody and Seth.
He did. But yes, that
But
is
in
true.
one-on-one, that hasn't
one-on-one
happened yet.
action,
That's got to happen for Roman.
Rollins in one-on-one action, Rollins owns him. He does. Roman has never beaten him one-on-one. Well, with that being said, and we actually on our last topic here, and that is our finish or DQ segment. Braun Breaker will defend the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania versus Finn Balor.
Finish.
Think it's headed that way?
It's headed that way, and I think maybe we see the Demon.
Ooh, interesting. And does Balor capture the championship?
If they do, please just make it a good title run because, by God, he barely defended the tag team titles last year.
Yeah, and also keep in mind the Demon has only lost once. And
That is true.
He's only lost once.
Now, I have a finish or DQ for you, Denzel, that I actually prepared today.
Okay, all right.
Finish or DQ. Does Jacob Fatu have a premier match at WrestleMania 41? And if so, against who? Or is he involved in a ladder match for a title?
I am going to say finish, and I could see. What do you think of LA Knight, Jacob Fatu, Shinsuke Nakamura, and one other, maybe Jimmy Uso, ladder match for the U.S. title?
5-way ladder match?
4-way. As I said, LA Knight,
LA.
Nakamura, Jacob Fatu, and Jimmy Uso.
4-way ladder match? I like that. I think if they don't do that ladder match, Jacob Solo's on the table. It's coming. Jacob Solo is happening soon.
Jacob Solo, even though the match I mentioned was a title match, Jacob Solo may be just as big of a draw.
Because did you hear? Can we actually talk about this for a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear the pop that this man got on SmackDown? The Fatu chants that people were chanting. And by God, just the aura when his music hit, just as soon as you heard that, Tashi, Loa, Toga, Fatu, then you just hear it come out and he's just like, oh, it's about to get wicked.
Yeah.
Now, why did Braun Strowman have to stand tall over Jacob? Cool, stand tall over Tama Tonga and Solo. I don't care about those bums. I don't. Solo has bored me. Okay, he was interesting when he was doing his whole bootleg Tribal Chief run. Like I said, there's only one Tribal Chief. Okay, it's Roman Reigns, and then you have Tama Tonga, who, respectfully, I don't want to hear a guy go yeah every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, Jacob is, by God, he almost Samoan dropped Braun Strowman off that platform the other night.
Oh yeah,
that would have been sick.
That would have been sick.
Like, Jacob is just, I'm saying this right now. I'm going to even book it early in here. I'm going to give you my word. Okay? And who's ever watching this, I know my mom and dad are watching it right in the living room next door to me on my TV. And I'm going to give them my word right now. Jacob Fatu, 2026 Royal Rumble winner.
Whoa! He is your pick.
He is my pick, and I'm going to tell you why. The aura. When he immediately came into WWE, he was getting the main event push. He took out Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, and Cody Rhodes in a span of 5 minutes. He's had banger matches. The promo, the mic skills are there. So I'm going to go with that. I'm saying Jacob Fatu, a year in advance, is winning the 2026 Royal Rumble. Now, I got one more question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see what Asuka posted on Instagram today?
Actually, I didn't. What happened?
Asuka posted the picture of Jade Cargill laid out on top of the car with her and Kairi Sane underneath it with their evil masks on. No caption. Did Asuka and Kairi set up Naomi to attack Jade Cargill, as in a moment where it was like, I did it for Bianca?
Yeah. It's like, well, here's the thing that I'm thinking, because I was along the lines of you that Bianca was the mastermind all along.
But then the other night,
Cargill WrestleMania is the bigger draw.
And then the other night too, like when Jade came out on SmackDown, Bianca was standing in the back and she was just like, "Go get her."
Yeah.
Also, I'm going to say this right now, and excuse my French here for saying this, but it's not really bad. Jade is a badass. They have booked her as a badass.
Yes.
Like, whew, like, and I'm going to say this. It's the first time I've been interested in a Naomi match or storyline since she's come back.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty
You
much.
know, so I'm excited for that.
A Naomi heel turn, I mean, it's definitely different, but also at the same time, a Bianca heel turn would be blockbuster right now.
Yeah, that is true. Now, I got one more
would.
finisher DQ for you, Denzel.
Okay.
This is a big one. Finish or DQ, was John Cena's heel turn more impactful on the business than Hulk Hogan joining the NWO?
No. DQ. And here's why. John Cena is in his last run. Whereas when Hogan did what he did, you still feel the shockwaves today. Go look at anyone in the crowd wearing an NWO t-shirt when you got on Raw tonight. I mean, what Hulk Hogan did when he turned heel, and then it was like the fans booed him, right? How could this guy, you know, that my kid looked up to, that I went to shows in the 80s and everything. But then it's like, but wait a second, this guy is actually cool for the first time ever in his life. He's got the black and white on. He's talking smack. He's like we've never heard him talk before. You know, the NWO, which let everybody know is my favorite faction of all time. Now, what year of the NWO? I'm probably going to tell you 1997, when it was Hogan, Hall, Nash, Six, Bogus Sting, Eric Bischoff, you know, and a couple of others. I'm probably going to tell you 1997. But yeah, it just started a whole revolution.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of you, what if I may, right? The reason I think Hogan's was more impactful is because you have to look at it like this. And I was actually telling my dad this when it happened, right? Cena was booed throughout his run as a babyface. When Hogan went heel, he was never booed. He was never booed as a babyface. People have to remember that. So, I still think Hogan's is the more impactful on wrestling, but Cena's is the more impactful on WWE.
And also, if you look at it, you can call John Cena right now a true heel, right? But could you really call Hollywood Hulk Hogan a true heel? Because what do heels typically do? They don't like nobody. Even if you try to reach for a picture or whatever, you know what I mean? If you try to put it, they'll still act like a you-know-what towards you. But Hogan was known to intimidate those wearing Sting masks and WCW, but anyone wearing an NWO shirt, he too sweet him. He grab a sign. Yeah, Hogan's the man. And that's why I always say the NWO was never a heel faction. It was an anti-hero faction. Yeah, it was a tweener.
To comment off one thing you said too about favorite factions, I'm just gonna say this real quick because I know we got to wrap up soon. My favorite faction of all time is the Undisputed Era.
Oh, not bad for pick.
Their NXT run throughout COVID from 2017 to 2020, just loved it. And also, Adam Cole might have the best super kick of all time, other than Shawn Michaels.
Not a bad take at all. And also at the end of the day, and the Undisputed Era is not a bad pick, man. I totally get it. Undisputed Era, the OC, Valor Club, all American versions of the Bullet Club.
Yep, I love the Undisputed Era just because, like, the Undisputed Gold run, where, like, they were the Undisputed Gold, like, just, man, you just had to be there for it. Like, there was a point where it happened where I was watching NXT only throughout the week because of how bad Raw and SmackDown were. But NXT was cooking. Like, Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole in 2 out of 3 falls. Like, come on.
I think that was the same year. I think that was the same year for the first time ever at Survivor Series. It was Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT. And NXT cleaned house.
Yeah, and you also had the banger match of Adam Cole versus Seth Rollins on Raw and Adam Cole versus Daniel Bryan on SmackDown?
Yep,
Like,
it's true.
here's the thing that bothers me real quick about this, and I'm glad we actually got to talk about this because I finally have a wrestling fan besides my friends at school that can actually agree with me on this and aren't just IWC internet like trolls. Because I've ran into so many people where they've said Adam Cole would never have lasted on the main roster. If Adam Cole was back on main roster today with Triple H in charge, world champion by the end of the year. Because of the fact Vince didn't like small guys. Vince hated small guys. Right?
Mhm.
That's the thing. If Adam Cole was in today's WWE, world champion.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm also going to throw in one bargain. Money in the Bank winner this year, because I know he's returning after the Raw after Mania. Money in the Bank winner this year could very likely be Aleister Black.
Ooh.
Triple H guy.
Yes, he is. He is, absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of time. Tune in to Monday Night Raw coming on in here in about 7 minutes. This is my guy Tyler Sumner, and I am Denzel Snipes, and we will see you all next time.
Acknowledge him.
OTC. Where's my exit video? Hold on. Where's my exit video? Oh, here we go. Bye, y'all.